Hey, just a warning. While Fuller House is a family show, the Fullest House podcast is not. Listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to the Fullest House podcast, where it's just 15 more months till college. 15 more months till college. I'm Mark Greene.
I'm Harrison Bloom.
And I'm Zach Horowitz.
We have the cutest episode of Fuller House to talk about today.
Not the funniest episode, but a good episode.
Yeah.
Good episode.
It's like a very emotional episode. And it's like good, not in the way that a lot of the other episodes that we really liked are good. It's it's pretty good.
It just touches the heartstrings a bit.
Yeah.
You know how we often complain that Fuller House isn't as sentimental and doesn't do the interpersonal sort of like drama as well as Full House? Well, it's like they saved it all for one episode.
Pretty much, yeah.
It feels very classic Full House,
stuff.
a lot of the drama in this episode.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So let's dive right in. We start out with Joey arriving.
Well, we do start out a little weird because we start with DJ, Stephanie, and Kimmy.
Oh yeah, that was a very weird scene.
Talking together, and they're saying like, I just don't want it to end. I just keep wanting it to go on. I just want to keep binging it. And Ramona walks in and is like, what are you talking about? And they're like, eating ice cream.
And Ramona's like, oh, you guys. Anyways, I'm going to go watch the final season of my favorite family sitcom, and then leaves. And it's very much this whole thing of like, oh man, aren't you guys just so sad that our show is ending? Please be sad that the show is ending.
I know, right? Like, what the heck? What a weird self-congratulatory thing to do.
Yeah.
It feels very self-congratulatory.
It's like if Squid Game had like a game that all the players were like really having fun with, and then just said, "Oh man, I hope this game never ends."
Yeah, maybe I'm just a stupid person because I didn't even really put together with the first part. The first part I just thought was like a weird bait and switch without the bait.
Yeah, I'd put that together immediately.
I was like, what are they even referring to?
Like, get it? Because it's the last season.
My dirty ass mind assumed they were talking about their sex lives. Like, oh, I just don't want it to. I don't want it to stop. Oh my god! When I'm in bed with whoever, like I don't.
I mean,
it's weird.
Like in my head, I was like, what are they talking about? The fact that they're not going to be like unmarried anymore? But it's in retrospect, obviously about the ending of the season. But. Yeah, I did. So that's the bait. That was the bait, and then they did the switch, which was ice cream.
It's weird though, because it's also like you're like halfway through the season. If you were gonna do that, put that in like the last episode or something like that. I don't know. Just kind of feels a little weird, and like there's more room to get confused. But ice cream. There
was a weird thing because wasn't this season? Like it's longer than most seasons, so it wasn't originally going to be 2. So this is episode 10. Usually these seasons have 13 episodes, so maybe it was originally more natural of it's almost over, but maybe still have a ways to go.
They released half the season later on, right? So maybe
I have to figure out when. Hold on, let me see if I can Google that real quick and see like where the split was.
Like, that would also justify why they felt the need to remind the audience.
This is the first episode of the second batch of season 5 that came out.
Okay, so that's why that's the joke.
Yeah, because I was wondering why they felt the need to re-explain the wedding.
For context, they released the first 9 episodes of season 5 in December of 2019. And then in June of 2020, they released the second half of season 5. Which coincidentally is like around the point where we started filming. I don't remember exactly what day our first filming session was, but we released our first episode in July of 2020. So like not far after.
Not far after. It's all lining up. It was meant to be. And And much like how this was maybe the least funny episode of Fuller House, this is maybe the least funny episode of the Fullest House podcast. Let's get some goofs and jokes in here. Guys, I'm not wearing any pants. Ooh, look at me.
No, we're going to get really deep today. So tell me about your biggest fears.
My biggest fears? Oh, yeah. No. My biggest fears, being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The idea that, like, no matter how much you achieve, how many people you affect, just because of the natural march of time, eventually you will be forgotten. Mm-hmm. Even the most famous, beloved people ever within a couple of decades can be forgotten.
Yeah. My personal biggest fear is waking up and realizing that I am the monster that I'm afraid of in my dreams, looking in the mirror and just seeing like an absolute psychopath looking back at me.
Yeah, and my third biggest fear, wolves.
God damn it, Mark, I was gonna say that.
Of course.
I was gonna be like, wow, that's deep. My biggest fear is wolves. It's the same thing.
I was leading into that joke, but then Harrison started talking, so I let him go. And I was like, well, I
wanted you both to say some real deep shit, and I was gonna be like, oh yeah, my biggest fear is wolves, and then Mark beat me to it. You fuck.
Good. Good. I like that.
The fact that I was also going to say wolves.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Anyway. Guys, Steve is a nervous wreck. Because as this episode confronts, he's going to move in after they get married. And he just wants all of DJ's children to like him so bad.
So he bought them presents because he wants to buy their affection.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, like, he buys presents, and I feel like they're a little bit mismatched. I mean, he bought, like, a video game for J Money, he bought books for Max, and then shiny keys for Tommy.
Well, yeah, he bought Nintendo games for J Money. He bought, like, the complete Sherlock Holmes for Max, and he bought shiny keys for Tommy. Yeah. I think J Money would love the shiny keys.
Exactly. You said that immediately after, and I was like, yeah, you got a point. Like, I could see J Money having so much fun with just shiny keys. Yeah. Just make him jingle.
Yeah, make him jingle. That would keep him occupied for hours.
That would keep him occupied for like several days, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true. They just keep jingling. Look at how shiny they are.
I just want to see like a shot of like J Money and Max trying to go to sleep, and Max is like super like tired trying to go to sleep, like throws the pillow over his head, and then it pans over to J Money's like jingle keys.
What I really want is I want J Money like walking into a room going like, Mom, look what I can do. Look at him go. Yes. You're so shiny. Look at him go. Anyway.
No, even better. He does that to Rocky.
He does it to
He does it to Rocky.
Rocky would murder him.
And then like 2 seconds, it's for like 3 seconds, and Rocky just punches him right in the face.
J Money has definitely tried to do like a fidget spinner trick next to Rocky, and then fucked it up, and then just got punched in the arm immediately.
Yeah, I'd say. I feel like J Money's the kind of guy who like he'd probably pull out his skateboard from season 1 or something like that, try and do like a sick kickflip, and then fall flat on his face.
Yeah, remember how far removed J Money is from where he was in season 1?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was the
remember when he was supposed to be? Remember when he was supposed to be the cool one?
Yep.
Yeah. It's so good.
Anyway, Steve also. Importantly, Steve also brought cash and an Arby's gift card. So he is tailoring one gift to J Money.
Yeah,
of course.
As we know, Arby's is J Money's favorite restaurant.
Oh yeah. Yeah. From like that one episode.
But then we move over to DJ talking to her children. She established that she was really worried about Max. He doesn't like change. But, immediately they have a bunch of questions. DJ says things aren't going to change. And J Money's like, but he's going to be here for breakfast, right? And then Max is like, and what are we having for breakfast? Oh, no, he says, does he eat sandwiches for breakfast?
Eat sandwiches.
Yeah. And
DJ's sandwiches.
Breakfast sandwiches, which are a real thing, Max. I don't know why you're acting like that's so weird.
I know.
To have a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. He said that, and I was like, I mean, breakfast sandwiches are a thing. Like, you ever had a bacon, egg, and cheese? Like,
yeah.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Put that shit on a bagel. That's some good shit. This message brought to you by Judaism. Mostly for the bagel.
Bacon, egg, and cheese?
No, the bagel.
But I just mean you said specifically a bacon, egg, and cheese, which is super not kosher.
Yeah.
On a bagel brought to you by Judaism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brought to you by lox spread.
Ooh. Yeah.
Look, I like
spread.
I like a bagel with lox. I needed to make it clear to our audience that we're not saying that bacon and coupling meat and cheese is a Jewish thing. Yeah. It's very much not.
It's not. It's very much not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you throw a bagel on that.
Throw that shit on a bagel and all your
throw
sins
that shit
are
on the
forgiven.
bagel. Yeah, I'm going to go to my rabbi and say, Rabbi, I have a very important question for you.
Ooh, you know what? This is... Well, with that and the Wolves comment earlier, does that mean this is the return of the Jewish Wolves podcast?
Yes, Jewish
because,
Wolves.
I mean, for context, it's not going to come out today, but we are recording this episode on Halloween. So it's a pretty spooky episode, even though it's going to come out in like...
Yeah.
Well, how much of a backlog do we have now? Like November at some point? Late November? Mid to late November?
I'm not going to do the math.
I don't know. I'm probably very wrong. You can just cut this out if I'm wrong.
This is this year's Halloween episode.
Or just put like
Happy
a
November.
Texas speech, make me seem like really smart. It's like, this is probably going to come out in mid-November.
They have some breakfast questions. DJ's like, stop worrying about breakfast. Breakfast is going to be breakfast. Just shut up. And she says that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
then she slaps her belt over the table and says, I said shut up.
I said shut up about the breakfast. And Tommy cowers in fear.
Oh, yeah. Because he's a bad baby and he knows that he deserves to be...
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to continue that sentence.
No, you maybe don't.
I think I know. Were you going to say punished? He's a bad baby and he deserves to be punished?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to head out. You guys want to do the rest of the podcast by yourselves?
Great. So Harrison, what happens next?
Oh, God.
No, J Money and Tommy both say, look, Mom, it's going to be great. We love Steve. They both say that they love Steve, and Max looks sullen. And DJ's like, oh, Max, I'm sorry. I knew you'd be upset. And Max goes, I am upset about these bozos who couldn't act sad. We were going to get a trip to Disneyland out of this.
The one time Max wants J Money to be sad, he is not sad.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Right.
I mean...
Is Max the true sad boy?
I really thought it was going to be a storyline with like Max having a hard time. And I do really like that immediately they're like, Max is like, no, Steve was great. I was going to manipulate you into taking us to Disneyland.
Yeah.
The ultimate supervillain.
Yeah.
I do want to see a spinoff where Max grows up to become a supervillain, though.
Yeah.
Yes. But he leaves, and what happens? Guys, Joey arrives. I was going to make some sort of joke, but it's just that Joey arrives.
It's just... We literally cut to a scene of just the living room, and nobody's there, and then Joey enters, and it's like, okay, hello there, Dave Coulier.
It's me, your favorite character from Full House. And it's like, don't assume you know my favorite character from Full House.
Yeah. Everyone knows that our favorite character is Michelle, who is dead.
Who's dead. Who's fully dead. Though maybe on this All Hallows Eve, she'll rise again. Ooh. Zombie Michelle?
2 zombie Michelles?
Zombie
New
Michelle.
spinoff?
Ooh. Yeah.
Zombie Michelle, she's just a young zombie woman trying to make her way as a fashion designer in the big city.
Or, hold on.
Yeah.
I would like to say, because we got 2 Olsen twins, right?
Yeah.
We'll make use out of both of them. Mm-hmm. We'll say that Michelle, say, for example, cloned herself before she dies, but only one of them dies. We have one zombie Michelle and one normal Michelle.
I do kind of want to have, though, like Mary Tyler Moore.
And their roommates living in the big city.
That's good. I think we should add that. I do kind of like the idea of the Mary Tyler Moore show, but with a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of them is a zombie, one is not. One was like squirreled away.
Oh, one is the zombie,
one is not.
The other
they're
is
twins,
fully alive.
They're roommates. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm down for this podcast.
God, could you imagine how dark that is that you're just living with your dead twin?
Yeah, but it's going to be a lighthearted show. It's more going to be like, you were supposed to get more milk. You never replace the milk. Exactly.
You always replace the brains, but you never replace the milk.
You always ask where are the brains, but you never ask how are the brains.
Can you like maybe get out of the apartment tonight? I have a big date. Great.
I want to see an episode of that show where the zombie gets 2 dates to the prom.
Oh my god.
How are you going to manage this with 2 dates to the prom?
I mean, of course you got 2 dates to the prom. You're the hottest one in school.
She's the prettiest girl in school.
She's the prettiest girl in school. As Tyler points out, yes, this will still have Ed Asner in it. We'll composite with CGI and archival footage. We'll put Ed Asner in the show. But anyway, moving on from our $1 billion idea.
Try to play God.
But moving on from our $1 billion idea, Joey does arrive to no fanfare, and then he says, I didn't bring my kids, and then everyone comes out like, Joey, it's so good to see you.
Yeah.
The show is continuing. I like that Joey is continuing to acknowledge that his kids are terrible.
Yeah. His kids are terrible in this show, and that's why the characters hate him, but they're also just annoying characters. Yep. Which is why I guess they're not bringing them back, because they're terrible children.
Yep, I'm glad.
Like, I know Mark talks on about how Tommy's a bad baby, but like...
He is.
He is.
He is a bad baby.
But, I mean, how do you feel about Joey's children, Mark? Who's worse, Tommy or all 4 of Joey's children as a collective?
Look, Tommy is a bad baby. He's bad at being a baby. He's bad at doing things.
He's bad at being a baby.
He'll never follow directions. But Joey's children are the devil incarnate.
Yeah.
It's like not even the same scale. Tommy is a saint compared to Joey's children.
But as we've learned from Boy Meets World, the devil is kind of a sad boy. So
the devil is kind of a sad boy.
Yeah.
But back to when we made the devil the sad boy of the week. If you haven't seen our Boy Meets World episode, it's a wild one.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say, I kind of want to circle back to what Mark said earlier about how Tommy is bad at being a baby. How can you be bad at being a baby? I would like to hear.
He's not a very charismatic baby. They should have gotten a more charismatic baby.
We've been on this since episode 1 of this podcast.
So he's bad at being a TV. He's bad at being a TV baby. I thought you meant like
he's
baby.
He's bad at being a baby. Like, I don't know why you're
it's like he's so bad at being a baby. You know, he has like a 9-to-5 job and he does his taxes. He acts like a grown man, but he's a baby.
Yeah, he would.
I mean, he does.
He would. That's my point.
The actual actor. You know,
we're not seeing what happens with Tommy in between scenes. You know how there are so many episodes that like don't feature Tommy at all? That's because he's going to his 9-to-5 job because he's bad at being a baby.
Yeah.
He's the boss.
He also works in the office.
He's the boss baby.
He's the boss baby. He also works in the office with Mary Tyler Moore, Michelle Tanner Zombie.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the VP.
The VP is also a baby.
I just want to make it clear, despite the babble of words I just said, I'm not having a stroke.
And I feel like I have to like keep defending myself because I feel like I almost have a stroke.
Anyway, what happens? Oh,
I might have just had one there.
Guys, Joey has a surprise for us.
Oh boy, what's the surprise?
Well, it's not as J Money says donuts, and it's not as Ramona asks cronuts, and it's not as Max asks a healthy alternative snack.
Max really is the kind of motherfucker to give out apples on Halloween.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna give out apples, and they're not even interesting apples with razor blades in them.
Exactly.
We had this whole conversation before we
were talking about
don't give out razor blades on Halloween. That's an official stance of the Fullest House podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, Joey is Planning a triple engagement party for Steph, DJ, and Kimmy.
Yay!
It's gonna be great. Yay. And not only that, there's more surprise.
What's the surprise, Mark?
He's inviting Mr. and Mrs. Gibbler, Jimmy and
That's
Kimmy's
Jimmy
parents.
and Kimmy Gibbler. Oh, wait, those are their parents.
Yes,
Yay!
Zach, very good.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Zach.
Well, no, I was saying the joke that they did in the original where they're like, oh, Kimmy and Jimmy are Mr. and Mrs. Gibbler. Oh, wait, the parents.
No, I know. I was saying I like legitimately enjoyed your phrasing of it. I thought it was very funny.
Thank you,
I was playing into like, you just realized this.
Oh, their parents.
Their parents.
That would make sense.
Their parents who they haven't seen in like 20 years.
Yes.
Who haven't visited San Francisco in 20 years. Let's make that clear.
Yeah.
And who have never met Ramona.
So they just straight up do not care about their family.
We sometimes joke about this character is a bad parent. This character is they're terrible, right?
Yeah, these people are actually bad people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bad parents.
They're bad parents. They're bad. Your granddaughter is a teenager and and it's not like you've been too busy traveling the world hunting for treasure, which that's not a joke that I'm making. That's what they say the Gibblers do.
Which, like, that makes so much sense.
They search for lost cities. What the hell? How many lost cities did you actually search for in your life?
Well, there's the lost city of Atlantis. There's the lost city of Atlanta. And
the lost city of Atlanta.
To be fair, there probably are a lot of lost cities. We just don't know about them. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's why they're lost, Harrison,
cities.
You dummy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Look, sometimes you're just driving and you're like, ooh, I'm in Atlanta.
You fucking
that's
dummy.
Weird.
Just walking around like, oh, there's a city here. That's cool. I didn't know that. Wow, that sure is a city.
Yeah, I mean, the other day I was just driving by and I just stumbled upon El Dorado, and I mean, that was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that gold. Anyway, so the Gibblers suck. Anyway, next scene. We're in the kitchen with Jimmy, Steph, Kimmy, and Fernando, and I didn't know how to describe this because not much was happening until, again, I don't know how to approach it in any other way than just saying literally what happens. Jimmy and Kimmy look at each other and go, are you thinking what I'm thinking? We play act as our parents to prep them for the dinner.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes, that's a great idea.
That's a genius idea. I can't see how that doesn't make sense.
And Fernando's like, isn't this a little bit weird, as if he's not marrying Kimmy Gibbler? Which is like what Stephanie's like. She's like, we're marrying Gibblers. This is like a normal Wednesday for us. Yeah. And they come in and they're all like, oh, pip pip cheerio, I'm Mr. and Mrs. Gibbler. I've got a monocle.
We'll get there, but Zach is entirely right. Those are the characters they're doing.
I've got me a monocle. I found the lost city of Atlanta. It was pretty great. I'm sorry I haven't been to San Francisco recently. I've just been really busy. It's me, Mr. and Mrs. Gibbler. I got this
Mrs.
weird
and Mrs. Gibbler
accent that's
in
like
the room.
ambiguously British. And scene.
It's like they were in the room with us.
Yeah.
Anyway, the scene that Tyler does bring up the good point. Are their names Timmy and Winnie? Just keep rhyming with Kimmy and Jimmy, which they have to be. Although this episode definitely does confirm that Jimmy's name is Jeremiah Jeffcoat Gibbler.
Yes, they bring that back, which is wonderful.
Yes, I will keep referring to him as Jiminy Gibbler because I feel like that's a more fitting name for Jimmy. Anyway, the real next scene is DJ is clearing out some old clothes. She's making room in her closet for Steve for when Steve moves in. And Joey's there with her, going like, you should have gotten rid of this years ago, honey. Snap, snap, snap. Anyway, DJ finds Tommy Sr.'s suit in her closet, bringing back some memories. And it's very sweet. Joey's there to comfort her. And he says to her, like, look, I was going to go back to my hotel, but I can stick around if you need me here. And DJ tells her, no, she's all right. It's just bringing back memories. She says, and this was a line that I liked. She says, Tommy always wanted me to be happy and Steve makes me happy. It's very sweet. It's very sweet.
Yeah, that's nice. But then J Money walks in at the wrong time and he sees...
J Money and Steve come in to help and he sees the suit. Yep. And is like,
and
you're getting...
they're throwing it away. Yeah.
He thinks they're throwing it away. And he rushes out, and DJ confides to Steve, like, wow, I was worried about Max. I didn't think I'd have to worry about J Money. And she says J Money for the first time in the series, which is so weird.
Oh, yeah.
That in this like very dramatic scene, like, or in this very tender scene, which like I want to say, I think this scene was pretty well done. I think when this scene rolled around, I know I said, like, is this the best Joey episode? Which I think it might be.
It kind of is,
It is. It's definitely the best in this series. I don't know about Full House, but...
It's got some real sweet scenes, this episode. But anyway, the button of the scene, Joey comes in going, you know what, actually, I will take one of these tops because it's my wife's birthday soon.
Hey.
And I don't want to spend no money, do I?
Hey.
What an asshole!
Oh my god.
Yeah, Joey, buy something for your wife. Buy something nice for your wife instead of DJ's outdated hand-me-downs.
Oh my god. He just picks one up at random. He doesn't even like stop to think of it.
Yeah. So I'll just take this. But yep, so it's a nice comedic button to what was a pretty sweet, dramatic scene. Again, I don't want to misconstrue it. Like, this isn't the greatest drama ever put on, but it's like...
but it's a good scene.
It's a good scene. It's a good scene.
Character arc happening too.
Yeah, it's a good scene. There's a character arc happening. It feels to me very reminiscent of original Full House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a show that worked.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we move on to the rehearsal dinner?
No, how are you forgetting the greatest scene in the episode, honestly? When Jimmy and Kimmy play act as their parents in front of Stephanie and Fernando.
It's the rehearsal dinner for the rehearsal dinner.
Oh, the rehearsal dinner for the dinner. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's the rehearsal dinner for the rehearsal dinner that isn't a rehearsal dinner.
I was confused because there wasn't really a dinner aspect. They were just in the living room.
Yeah, they kind of just like entered the room.
They probably do say rehearsal dinner at some point, but that's why I was confused, because I was like, it's more like every other scene in this show where characters just enter a room, say some stuff, and then leave.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but as Zach was saying, they do quite have those accents, good chap, sir. Yes,
good,
indeed.
Good chap. Oh, pip pip cheerio.
Are they back?
Right on, old chap.
They call Jimmy Jeffcoat a number of times. We're talking about them like they're different people. It's Jimmy and Kimmy doing these characters.
Jiminy Jeffcoat Gibbler.
Jiminy Jeffcoat
Jeremiah, I'm sorry. But Jiminy.
It should be Jiminy.
It should be Jiminy Jeffcoat Gibbler.
Jimmy, one...
It's so much more whimsical.
Yeah.
One, it's more whimsical. Two, it shortens to Jimmy easier.
Yes.
And three, Jimmy should 100% be named after a cartoon cricket.
Yes, for sure.
So in our hearts, he will always be Jiminy Jeffcoat Gibbler.
Jiminy Jeffcoat Gibbler.
I also appreciated or want to note that they are playing themselves in this scene as well, that they're going, oh, Kimmy, I haven't seen you in quite the longest time. Why, thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
Your hair is so stunning. Mom complimented my hair. And it's like, Kimmy is working through some shit.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, my beautiful daughter Kimmy, have you done something new with your hair? Yeah. Why, yes, I did do something new with my hair. Oh, no, that's so wonderful. I haven't seen you in the past 20 years. I don't know what this accent is turning into.
The big moral of this story is that these two siblings need dangerous amounts of therapy to work through their trauma.
I mean, listen, I don't mean to bring it back to another episode, but we saw the house that they grew up in.
Yeah. They make a mention of that.
Yeah, it's like the fucking... Oh my god.
what was it? But yeah, it's just really like, oh, Kimmy, so nice to see you. I do love you. Dad, you've never said that before. Well, I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
There's my favorite moment in this scene is when Ramona walks in and Jimmy and Kimmy both go, why is that our granddaughter? Ramona?
And then Ramona is just horrified.
Well, Ramona is
horrified.
horrified. I think she says, whatever this is, I don't want a part in it. I'm not doing
and then
it.
she's like 15 months till college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use that as our opening joke because it's just the
It's
best line
so
in the whole episode.
good.
It's so good. Just, why were your grandparents? 15 months till college. 15 months till college.
This is like her mantra. She's like, I'm finally gonna get the fuck out of here. My mom is so weird.
Which, can we also mention, weren't they like just freshmen?
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday when she got absolutely embarrassed by Brad Bradley on her first day of high school.
Well, it's like we said, like there's so little concept of time in this show.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing, I'm going over it. They play fast and loose with it because I think season 3 is the like school season. That's where they go to. I think that's when they first go to high school.
I believe so.
And we see them in high school, but like we don't see them at school like at all in season 4.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I guess it's possible just a few years have passed, but like at least 9 months have passed because there was the pregnancy subplot, but that still would put them in like sophomore year.
Yeah. They could be.
Well, Kimmy was
juniors.
pregnant for like pretty much the entire season, right? For like most of season 4, at the very least.
But we've had things where like season 3, like it starts in the summer. And we see them in the summer, and like J Money's in summer school, and then they start high school. So like the seasons kind of correspond to years, kind of don't, but also like we're not feeling it because we've haven't really seen them in school since season 3. I'm sure we're wrong about that, but that was the heavy school season.
I mean, we saw like prom.
Yeah.
So maybe they actually did like have. Well, because they're juniors now. I don't know.
I guess it's weird, but they don't feel like juniors. It feels like they just started high school.
It's odd.
Anyway, it's
timeline
odd.
Is very fluid.
But we cut to later. Also wanted to mention that it's revealed that the Gibblers always thought the Tanners were very weird.
Oh yeah. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense when you think about it.
Steph's like, you thought we were weird. And they were like, well, you had 3 dads in one house.
Always riding cars and bicycles through the living room and going on wacky adventures.
It was like you were living in a sitcom.
Yeah. Exactly.
You even had the catchphrases that you'd say all the time, even the little baby.
Even the little baby did the catchphrase.
Even the little baby did the catchphrase.
And there is a mention where they said, like, I always saw these weird goings on when I was attached to the Velcro wall. So they make a mention of how they grew up in a weird funhouse home.
Yeah, like, they mentioned, like, there was a horse in the kitchen or, like, whatever it was. I think that's, I don't think that actually, I think that's just our joke episode of Full House that we made up.
There was a horse in the living room in an episode of the original Full House, which I had forgotten, but only found out when I looked it up because we had wanted there to be a horse in the kitchen in Fuller House. That it was this weird thing of like it had kind of happened. Close.
Yeah. There's a horse in the living room.
There's a horse in the living room. Anyway, everyone is ready to go to the dinner except J Money, who says he's not feeling well. And Steve is like, you go ahead, I'll talk to him. And there's a very good line where Max says, you just don't want to meet the Gibblers, do you? And Steve says, I can have 2 reasons for doing something. or maybe it was like a man can have multiple reasons for doing something.
Yeah, that was right.
Pretty much.
It's very good. But Steve goes to talk to J Money, and there's a sweet scene where J Money is like, no, I love you, Steve. You're great. I love how part of the family. It's just seeing Dad's suit is just reminding me that he's not coming back. And Steve tells him, look, I'm not trying to replace your dad. I love you guys. And your dad was great. I just want to be a part of this family. and he gives J Money a little. It's saved as a reveal, but he gives J Money his dad's suit, which is very sweet.
Which is really nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I will say immediately when J Money was like, "You're throwing away the suit," I was like, "Oh, give the suit to J Money. That's what you should do."
Yeah.
You should get his dad's suit.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we cut to the actual party.
Oh boy, it's a party!
It's a party! Yay! Hooray! Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Musical bits.
Party!
Kimmy is so excited to see her parents. There's a fun line where Kimmy says to Ramona, "Aren't you excited to meet your grandparents?" And Ramona says, "Yeah, I actually am. Unless it's you in a wig." It's you in a wig, isn't it? 15 months till college. 15 months till college.
Great reincorporation.
It's great.
Great reincorporation.
I feel like it might be up there with the don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As just this mantra that is so good and so well tied to her character.
It works so well for the character.
I love it. I also love that immediately she's like, "Oh, it's you in a wig, isn't it? Fuck."
I'm glad Ethan didn't come.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. He didn't come.
Yeah, it was not a plus one.
He was not.
Yeah. Joey was very strict about it. No plus ones.
He was very strict.
Oh, he was. That's right. I forgot that.
Oh, was he? Oh, yeah. I must have missed that.
Oh, I was making a joke.
Oh, okay. You sounded very confident.
Seems like,
hey guys,
it seems like something he would say. Like, I did this special party, but no one else is coming
Mark
but you guys.
Mark is very good at acting.
Thank you. But
He's
yeah, guys,
so good at acting.
Acting. That's a lesson for you. If you say something with confidence, people just might believe you, no matter what it is.
If you're a
white man and you're confident.
Oh my god. Anyway,
we were pretty certain by this point in time that the Gibblers were not going to be at the party.
Yeah, because they kept saying it over and over again, like, "Oh, great, they're going to be at the party.
We're finally going to meet them." And then it's the sort of thing of like, well, the big comedic set piece is Kimmy and Jimmy pretending to be their parents. So it wouldn't make sense for now the parents to show up and they're the big comedic set piece.
Yeah.
But there is a silver lining, which is that instead of having a telephone call where it's like, "What? Their plane is delayed 15 hours. They're not going to make the party? I should tell Kimmy and Jimmy? You know their names because you're a close family friend?"
Oh my god. This is getting deeper.
I want to see how deep he goes with the lore of this phone call.
You went to preschool with Kimmy, but were then estranged, and you met again in college and became very close and had a torrid love affair before she met Fernando. So you still pine after her all these years later, but you know it can never be.
It was getting juicy.
Damn, what a prequel idea.
All right, juicy. Bye. So instead of that, instead of that, a singing telegram shows up and sings to Jimmy and Kimmy that their parents are not going to be coming.
The telegram is a nice touch.
Yes. Who doesn't love a good singing telegram other than when they tell you, "Hey, your parents aren't coming."
Yeah. Your parents don't love you.
Musical bits.
Musical bits. Perhaps the saddest musical bits we have had yet.
Oh yeah.
But Kimmy goes off to be alone. Joey goes after her to try to help. There is a good moment where the singing telegram comes back and sings, "Do you validate parking?" And Jimmy goes, "No."
It's very good. It's very, very good.
Yep.
The singing telegram is very wonderful in this episode.
I hope that this is the same singing telegram lady who has been working for the Gibblers for many, many years. And this, that's my headcanon.
Kimmy at one point says, like, "This is not our first telegram."
Yeah, someone's like, "We had a lot of singing telegrams growing up because our parents didn't love us."
Aww.
I mean, am I wrong though?
No.
No.
Exactly.
Kimmy hides in the coat room.
She hides in the coat room.
Joey goes to talk to her.
Yep. first she blames Joey, then she blames herself, and then she, acknowledges it's not the first singing telegram. This is a pattern. And she says, that's why I spent so much time at the Tanner's house, or that's why I was always barging in at the Tanner house, because my parents were never around. And it's like, aw, you just made all of Full House really sad.
Yeah. Like, not to get ahead of ourselves, does that mean Full House, the show, is on the running for Sad Boy of the Week?
Maybe.
Ooh,
maybe.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
But it's almost as if it's like if if they made a sequel to Friends and they were like, yeah, they were only such good friends because they had another friend who died before the show started.
Oh no.
So all of those wacky hijinks were them trying to be for each other in the face of tragedy.
You know what it's actually more like? It's like if How I Met Your Mother was actually about how this dad was telling the kids about how he met their mother because their mother had died recently.
I know, that would be terrible.
Who
would want that in the
show? But they would never have done that.
They'd never do that.
God.
You're right, they'd never do that because that would be a terrible idea.
I haven't seen How I Met Your Mother. I don't know if you're hinting at something.
That's how I Met Your Mother ends. It's revealed that the mother is dead, and that's why he was telling them this story.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's why everyone hated the ending so much. Okay.
Yes, that is exactly why.
Yeah, but Joey confides to her like, hey, look, I don't talk about it much, but I didn't have a great family life either. And now my kids are terrible. It's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
No. But no, he doesn't say that. He says,
yeah,
I had a bad family life too, and that's why I was so grateful to be brought into the Tanner family. And Joey offers to walk her down the aisle because she had wanted her dad to walk her down the aisle. She was going to ask tonight, but he didn't show up. And it's very sweet. And there's also a sweet thing in that, Kimmy is the Joey of this show. Yeah. And so Joey's going to be the one to walk her down the aisle.
That is sweet.
It's sweet. It's nice. Mm-hmm. This is a nice episode. This is they do the character stuff well in this episode.
They really do. And like credit where credit is due. There's a lot of good character stuff in here.
Yeah. This is maybe the most solid episode on all the character stuff.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
It feels like it has a lot of that like sentimental charm that the original series had and was known for.
Exactly. It's the sentimental charm is what they've really brought for this episode. Mm-hmm. But they come out. Kimmy's feeling better now. Fernando says, like, screw your parents. He doesn't actually say screw your parents, but he says screw. He says they spend all their time searching the world for treasure, not realizing that the greatest treasure is you.
Which, like, I personally was really hoping that he was going to say, your parents have been searching all the world for the greatest treasure, when the greatest treasure of all was right here. And just, like, started panning her. Me. Fernando.
Yeah, I for sure thought that
I
was
really wanted that to happen, but no, they went for the actual, like, cute, emotional route.
Yeah, Fernando's actually being sweet.
Oh, look at this fucker right here.
Look at this
weak shit.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah, but it's not all sweet because Jimmy and Kimmy decide they want to play act as their parents at the wedding.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Which it's like, I guess it's like, I guess Kimmy, it's your day, but like, maybe don't.
But it's also, maybe don't, because you've planned the triple wedding, so it's not just your day anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But J Money arrives wearing his dad's suit. It's very sweet, and DJ's very choked up. It's very nice. Though also, how did Steve get the measurements to tailor it to J Money?
Yeah, that's
there was
iffy.
Chloroform involved.
There was chloroform involved.
Oh no, not the chloroform.
Maybe Steve's just like that good a dude. Like he just knows.
Maybe.
He cares about J Money, so he knows his measurements.
Maybe he knows by the feet.
No.
Maybe he can just look at a person's feet and just tell their exact measurements based on the proportions of the body. Maybe he's that good a podiatrist.
Yeah, there was that one episode where Steve checked out J Money's feet because J Money was faking an injury.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So Steve's he must have gotten all his measurements right then and there.
Steve's just really, really into feet.
Yep.
Not like that, Zach. He's not that into feet.
Hey, get your head out of the gutter. I didn't say anything like that.
That's not what Zach meant, but also I think Steve is into feet that way as well. I don't think it's a stretch.
Well, I mean, there is the episode where he compliments DJ's feet because she gets into a push-up contest with Lonzo Ball, formerly of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yep. Yes, but it's very sweet. He's wearing the suit, and J Money says that there's no one he'd rather have marry his mom than Steve.
Which is really sweet.
It's really sweet. Joey gives a toast. He says to family, the one you're born into, and the ones you make. And it's all just very sweet at the end.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. I'm gonna throw up. It's so sweet.
It's very, very sweet.
Like, I ate too much candy. It's Halloween.
Halloween spooky.
Halloween candy. But that's the episode.
It's very, very sweet at the end. Anyways, sad boy of the week time.
It's very sweet. Sad boy of the week. I have two nominees in mind. Two nominees come to my mind.
Okay. Yeah.
One is Ramona.
Yes. That's a good one.
Very good one.
Ramona.
That's a very good one.
My only other nominee is the show Full House.
The show Full House.
The show Full House. All right, let's really tally it up. Let's
I need to think if there are any more and to make sure we're not forgetting anybody. I mean,
you can make an argument for characters who are actually sad.
Exactly. There are characters who are actually sad, but I don't think that.
Yeah, this one's like kind of difficult because it's so different from what a normal episode of Fuller House is.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of characters that really stand out as being like sad, but in an entertaining and funny way. To the point where it's like if we put them on, it's like it feels kind of bad to do it.
They're really hitting the characters, the drama, the sentimentality.
Yeah.
So we don't get a lot of goofy sadness, I think, except for Ramona. Who should I just recount Ramona?
Let's recount Ramona. And then, of course, the show
Full House.
Yes.
Because Ramona first walks in and is like, I have to go binge watch the end of my favorite family sitcom. And it's like, gee, I didn't know she liked King of Queens so much.
She gets all meta real quick.
Yeah, she gets meta, but also her favorite family sitcom is ending.
Yes.
Boo-hoo.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
She is confronted by her mother and her uncle play acting as her grandparents, and she does not know what is happening, and immediately is like, whatever's happening, I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm. And then has to comfort herself by going 15 months till college. And then at the party, she's like, she is excited to meet her grandparents who, let's say, don't show up. She doesn't get to meet her grandparents, but also she's excited to meet her grandparents until she realizes, oh, they're probably going to be my mom in a wig. Please, God, don't let it be my mom in a wig. This always happens to me. Why is my family like this?
Only 15 months till college.
Only 15 months till college.
I think that's a very strong case.
And then the show Full House is retroactively made very sad by the fact that Kimmy was only ever over because her parents were never around.
Aww.
No.
And I guess that's the show Full House. I think I'm voting Ramona.
I was gonna say I'm voting Ramona too. Yeah. As much as it's funny to put the show Full House as a nominee, I think it's gotta be Ramona this time.
I think it's Ramona.
Yeah. Which, ooh, you know what? Now Ramona is in that big tie for third place too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
With this win. Because we got J Money with 13, Fernando with 7, and then with 6, there's a big tie between Steph, Danny, Matt, Steve, and now Ramona.
Wonderful.
Damn.
But guys, I think, unless we have anything else, that is the end of our episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say one more time, and then for other episodes that we continue to record, if you like what you've listened to, you can find us on social media we are at Fullest House Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I hope everybody listening has a wonderful day. I'm Mark Greene.
I'm Harrison Bloom.
And I'm Zach Horowitz.
And until next time, may your houses be fuller, and may the greatest treasure of all be you.
Aww. That's adorable, Mark.
Thanks.